Hello everyone, DM Gashbad here. I know it's been a while. Listen, I started the first two battle reports for the Batman miniature game tournament that I went to recently. Then, as I did last year, I had to take a big break. I had to step away from doing these videos in order to concentrate on Halloween. Halloween is a big deal. I spent a long time doing the setup. I couldn't afford the time to work on these videos, so I'm sorry that I wasn't able to bring you this last game for the Batman miniature game tournament that I went to in September. But I'm back now. Halloween is over. You can look at the video to see what that thing was like. But otherwise, again, sorry for the delay, but here we are. We are back. And not only that, you may have noticed a small difference in the voice quality. One of my goals when I started this project, started doing these YouTube videos, was I didn't actually want to spend any money doing it. And I've been pretty good about that. I haven't actually spent any money. I haven't invested anything. And you guys shouldn't feel ripped off. I'm not getting any money. This isn't a monetized channel. But I did get a microphone for my birthday, and so I did actually invest in a piece of equipment. So instead of having an iPhone on a tripod and recording it at my kitchen table, instead I'm in front of a computer with an actual microphone. So hopefully you can tell the difference. I won't talk about any more technical stuff from now on. But just in case it sounded a little weird, that's the reason why. Hopefully it sounds better. But anyway, on with the report. This is round 3, game 3 of a Batman miniature game tournament that happened in September. It was on Batman's anniversary, so I took an actual Brave and the Bold crew featuring Batman for the first time. The tournament was held at Great Escape Games. It was run by the local Sidekick in the area. I'm going to go over my crew that I brought recently because it has been a while. So first off, we have Batman himself. Batman, that's the new resin Arkham Asylum version. Then we have Azrael. He is a free agent. I gave him martial arts training. I had a couple points left over, a couple funding left over. Then all the way on the left, we have Agent Ron with his handgun. I have QRT-1 with his riot gun. That's the quick response team guy. We have Agent O'Connell with his trusty taser. We have Gotham Policeman. I gave him a whistle. Arkham Guard 1 is in the front right. He's the guy with the baton. And in the back, we have Arkham Guard 2. He has his assault rifle. First time I've used one of those things. And I also gave him Street Patrol, so he can crouch for free. So for round 3, I will be facing off against a Gotham City Sirens crew. We'll be playing the scenario Asphalt Jungle. So it's the one where you get one of your objective in your deployment zones. You're just both set up kind of as usual on each side of the board. One of your objectives goes in your opponent's deployment zone. The other 2 go in the center of the board, and they can ignore restrictions for being placed close to other markers, being placed close to other objectives. They can go above ground level. Neither of us put them above ground level, but you can. Anyway, this is a picture of the board after everything's been set up. Urban furniture, objectives, crews, all that kind of thing. Now you're going to have to forgive me, this has been a while. It's been over a month since I've actually played this game, so some of the things I'm not actually going to remember. I don't remember all the equipment my opponent brought. I think she gave tough skin to one of her Amazons. I'm just not sure about the rest of it. I also don't remember most of the strategies. I know she took a patrol, and so one of her models is going to deploy a little bit further forward. As far as my strategies go, I know I took public resources. So the 3 street lights that you can see running down the middle of the table, those all illuminate 6 inches. This is, of course, a shot of the table looking down the side. So my guys are set up on the left. You can't really see them. They're being hidden by the building. Her guys are set up on the right. And with that, let's just get right into it and let's show the deployments. Here is my deployment, so you can see I'm kind of bunched in the middle with one guy off by his lonesome over there on the left. That's Arkham Guard 1, the one with the baton. He's going to go towards that sewer on the first turn. But other than that, we have QRT-1, we have Arkham Guard 2 with his assault rifle hanging out there. We have Azrael right in the middle. Batman is standing right there next to Gotham Policeman. Agent O'Connell is kind of tucked in the back, and Agent Ron is straight in front of him. Off to the right, you can see the objective that my opponent placed in my deployment zone. That is her Titan. And then we'll go on to my opponent's crew. So you can see off to the left we did something a little similar. I put my Titan over there in her deployment zone on the left. She has the Amazon with the sword. She is all standing next to a sewer off on the far left. We have the Gotham City Sirens Catwoman kind of dead center. We have Gotham City Sirens Harley. Looks like she has used patrol to move up a little bit. The Amazon with the bow is just to the right of that, and Gotham City Sirens Poison Ivy, the leader of the crew, is way off on the right. Here's a picture of the central objective area. You can see that off to the top, that's closest towards my deployment zone, I put my ammo and medical supplies. sort of to the left. So when I'm playing, it'll be on the right side of the table. She has her ammo, and there is a loot closest towards her deployment zone. So it's time to start the game, and so we go into the Bag of Destiny and we draw a counter, and I draw my counter first, so I decide to let my opponent take the first turn. So she's going to go ahead and she's going to activate Catwoman. Catwoman's going to move forward and she's going to grab the loot that is closest to her. I decide I really need to get my guys going, so I'm going to activate Batman first. Batman's going to inspire, he's going to hand a bunch of movement counters to all those cops clustered around him, and he's going to backclaw over, and he's going to grab the medical supplies. And just because he can, because those streetlights illuminate a little bit further, I believe he's going to throw batarangs at Catwoman. Catwoman's defense 5, she's not going to get hit, and I'm down in ammo, but that's okay. For her next activation, she's going to activate Harlequin. Harlequin absolutely rockets up the board, and she goes and aggressively claims the ammo. So I really don't want this to happen. I really like getting the bonus victory points for controlling 2 objectives in the beginning of this game. So she's already got 1 objective because Catwoman has a loot. Now Harley's claiming the ammo. However, you know, sometimes in a game where you're playing and everything's just like half an inch off, you wish you could move just half an inch further, or you're just barely out of line of sight of the target that you want, and it kind of frustrates your plans. This is actually not that situation. In this situation, I have exactly the movement and the range that I need to do exactly what I want in this instance. I find out that Gotham Policeman, now that he has that extra movement counter from Batman's Inspire, he can get right up there. He can get within 8 inches of Harlequin, and he can use his whistle to stop her. So now she can't use movement counters to dodge, and she is +1 defense, or -1 defense. And he also had just enough movement to clear the way for Arkham Guard 2's assault rifle. So I'm not sure if I went ahead and did a let's go. Probably not. Probably my opponent went and passed. But I immediately go and I activate Arkham Guard 2. Arkham Guard 2 opens fire, this clear shot into Harlequin, who can no longer dodge and is now defense 3, I believe. So he's going to go and he's going to hit enough times to cause... it's either 6 or 9 blood damage that happened. Anyway, he immediately takes Harlequin off the board. That is a great way to start a game. So, so my opponent is down. I don't know if she's a free agent in this list. Probably. So she's down an expensive free agent. She's no longer claiming that objective. That's a real good way to start this game. My opponent follows up by activating her Amazon with the sword up on the far right of the board. She's trucking across the board. She's going to try and get to that Titan on the opposite side. Agent Ron is just going to go and provide some backup with his automatic gun to Gotham Policeman. Next, the Amazon with the bow goes and activates, and she fires an arrow at Agent Ron, who just moved up. She's going to hit, and I'm not going to get that ping roll to happen, but she doesn't manage to wound, so Agent Ron is just going to take a scratch. And the Amazon with the bow then shuffles off to the left to be close to the support of Poison Ivy. Agent O'Connell is actually going to bank to the right. He's going to go and try and guard that Titan objective from the Amazon moving up towards that. My opponent passes, so I go and I activate QRT1. QRT1 moves up as far as he can. I think I actually take a shot on the move at Catwoman, so I have a rate of fire 1, and I go ahead and miss, because of course that's Catwoman. Poison Ivy thinks that it is a great idea not to go in the middle with all those cops and all their guns, so she moves off to the left as well towards where the Amazon with the bow is hanging out. And Azrael has tons of movement, so he's going to hurtle forward and he is going to claim my ammo. So he's actually going to throw... he's going to fire his Gauntlet of Thorns, or whatever it's called. He's also going to fire at Catwoman. Again, I don't get any hits, that's fine. That's not what Azrael really is about. But I am claiming 2 of my objectives in this first round of the game, which means I'm going to get a bonus victory points. I'm going to get 6 victory points for holding on to those ammos, and of course, casualtying Harley. That was just a really good start to this game. And to finish up my turn, Arkham Guard 1 moves to the sewer right in front of him. I don't actually go through the sewer. I'm not sure if it's because I just didn't put my counters correctly, or if I wanted to try and give a Poison Ivy and that Amazon with the bow something to think about, or I didn't want to go through the sewer and just have the Amazon with the sword double back and carve him up. But for whatever reason, I just moved to the sewer and chill. So it's a new round, and we go into the Bag of Destiny, and my opponent takes the lead, which is unfortunate. And the first thing that she decides she needs to do is get Catwoman out of there, which is a great plan. So she spends the extra movement counter to move with the loot, and she goes and she jumps on top of the building directly behind her to get away from all of my guys. Because she has the loot, she is happy. She can be cool for the rest of the game. She has done her job. But Azrael is also really fast, and he is also an acrobat. So I take him, and he jumps straight after her. So he leaps onto the building, and he's still got some counters to swing with his sword. He actually gets through that sky-high defense of Catwoman's, and he puts 2 blood on her. Doesn't set her on fire, which I'm still looking forward to when that happens one day. But that is good news. He is now contesting that objective because he's in base contact with Catwoman, so she won't score victory points for it this round, and it's a good thing. My opponent goes and passes, so I go and I take Gotham Policeman. He moves over to my opponent's ammo objective, and he hangs out right at the edge of 8 inches, and he whistles the Amazon with a sword. Normally I wouldn't recommend whistling at an Amazon. It's just not appropriate, guys. Not, hashtag me too. But in this case, it stops her from using movement counters, so it'll slow her down and keep her away from that Titan objective in my deployment zone. My opponent activates the Amazon with the bow next. She takes a shot at, I believe, Batman. Whoever she takes a shot at, she is going to miss, so no damage is caused. QRT-1 fires a volley of beanbags at the Amazon, and he actually manages to put 3 stun on her, so that's really good, and he moves up the board to put a little bit more pressure on those guys. The Amazon with the sword really doesn't have a whole lot of options, so she just slowly walks towards that Titan objective in my deployment zone. Agent O'Connell is still there guarding it, so he's going to go and he's going to lurk behind that corner in ambush, waiting for her to come around with his taser. So it's Batman time. Batman is going to run forward, and he is going to try to punch out that Amazon with the bow, and he does not have the bat whiff this round. He's actually going to land 6 stun on the Amazon, which is going to KO her, and so good job, Batman. But that does leave him right in front of Poison Ivy, which is not really where you want to be. Poison Ivy is going to just shuffle forward. I believe she's going to try mind control on Batman, but with his willpower of 8 and his reroll for being a leader, he passes that. She's going to go and do the poison spray on him, though. She is going to cause 1 blood, and I think throughout the game, Batman does not make his 8 or less endurance check, so he's slowly going to take this blood damage through the whole game, and it's just going to chip away at him. Arkham Guard 1 decides that the time is right. He's actually going to move through the sewer, and he's going to go right into contact with that ammo objective. So he's going to relieve some of my gun guys to go do other things, and he's going to take control of that. Arkham Guard 2 is going to walk forward. He is going to claim the medical supplies objective that Batman was previously standing on, and he can see Poison Ivy because, of course, those lampposts illuminate an extra amount of inches. So he's going to go ahead and take a shot at her on the move, and I get real lucky. So I manage to hit Poison Ivy. Either doesn't have the movement counters to dodge or fails to dodge, and I'm going to cause 3 blood and a knockdown to her, which really helps. So in the recovery phase, the Amazon with the bow is going to go ahead and wake up, which is too bad, but it is another big round for me scoring victory points. So it's the 3rd round, and my opponent goes and takes the lead again, which is a shame because Poison Ivy she is going to go for the glory on this one. She's going to move in contact with Batman. She is all loaded up to do this. I don't believe this Batman is a martial artist, so she is going to get bonuses to hit here. She is going to try the Mortal Kiss on Batman. An all or nothing thing here. This will cause a casualty to Batman if she manages to hit and wound. She's only strength 5+, but she does manage to hit twice, and she does wound once. Now we mess up here a little bit. I should have taken the bat armor saves as soon as the hits came through, but instead I did it after the wound came through. And I don't think it's going to change anything. I don't think it changes the odds. But anyway, I'm looking at Batman becoming a casualty, which is really going to hurt. I'll probably still win the game, but it's bad news as Poison Ivy gets these poison-soaked lips coming straight at him. But I make my bat armor save. How about that? So I do the 5-up, and he turns his head at the last second, and she just kisses his armored face mask, or whatever Lego Batman describes it as. Anyway, so that was really lucky on my part, and it's looking bad for my opponent. With that, I go ahead and I activate Azrael. I've got a bajillion attacks. I'm going to go and swing that sword at Catwoman, but I actually miss, or she blocks all of them, and so Catwoman is just fine. She gets the hint that she does not want to be standing right there, so she takes her loot and absolutely hurdles. She does this giant jump over to the other side there and ends up on top of the Monarch Theater. Gotham Policeman, he's doing a good job doing what he's doing, so he's just going to creep off my opponent's ammo a little bit, just slowly following that poor Amazon with the sword and whistling at her. Man, that guy is annoying. Just can't run with that guy making all that noise. The Amazon with the bow is going to go ahead and she's going to get up. She may take a swing at Batman with some of her dice, but she is going to miss, and she's going to move off a little bit. With that, I'm going to activate Batman. Batman is going to correctly do mixed combat style. So first off, I'm going to unload a giant amount of punches at Poison Ivy. Man, I really should have put some in defense. I was not thinking ahead for that Mortal Kiss coming in. So he had no defense, trusting on that defense 5, which did not work for him. But fortunately, the Bat Armor did. Anyway, but the good news is that he's loaded up for attack. So he unloads a bunch of punches into Poison Ivy. He manages to cause 4 stun. Poison Ivy goes KO, and I still have some Batarangs. So I go and throw those Batarangs, which I can do now, even though they're not light. Poison Ivy is KO, so it doesn't stop me from throwing those things. So he chucks a couple at the Amazon with the bow, and sure enough, he gets 1 stun through, which is enough to KO her again. Again, the Amazon with the sword doesn't really have much she can do except, again, just move under her normal movement rate towards that Titan objective, away from Gotham Policeman. But this is what Agent O'Connell was waiting for. Agent O'Connell has that reach stun gun, so he's going to jump out from the shadows and he's going to try and zap Amazon with the sword. He does manage to put 2 stun on her, but it's not a great matchup for that guy. But hey, he is a brave Gotham City policeman. Arkham Guard 2 is going to move towards the ammo. He is out of ammo, but he can draw one. He has the movement counter to spend, and he can see Catwoman from where he's at. So he's going to take a shot on the move. It's not going to work this time. Catwoman is just fine. Dodging bullets, that's what she does. QRT1 moves up to all these unconscious Gotham City Sirens. He's got a plan. Arkham Guard 1 with his baton, he gets with the program. He's going to do the exact same thing. And Agent Ron goes and claims those meds that have been vacated by the advancing cops. And again, in my opponent's recovery phase, the Amazon with the bow wakes up. But this time, I get the lead, and Amazon with the bow is not really a match for Batman. Batman's going to activate first. He's going to throw a giant pile of attacks into her. Again, the Bat Whiff doesn't show up. He's going to cause 8 stun to her, so yeah, she's really, really unconscious. On the other side, things don't go as well. The Amazon with the sword is thankful to finally have someone that she can attack. She moves into poor Agent O'Connell, takes out that sword, and hands him 4 blood and a knockdown. He's still conscious, but that did not feel good. Arkham Guard 2 is going to draw some more assault rifle rounds from that ammo crate that he's standing right in front of, and he's going to fire a full rate of fire into Catwoman, and she is either going to dodge, ping away all the hits, or the Arkham Guard 2 is going to miss. In any event, Catwoman has been dodging bullets all day. Fantastic job for Selina Kyle, and she's going to take no damage. And she's not done yet. She, again, does her building hopping trick, and she hurtles into my deployment zone and claims my Titan objective. But on the other side, it's kind of cleanup duty here. QRT1 moves forward over the unconscious Poison Ivy, and he arrests the Amazon with the bow. Arkham Guard 1 does much the same thing. He moves straight forward and he arrests Poison Ivy, so Arkham Asylum is going to have a whole bunch of new inmates. And with that, we're about out of time, so the game comes to a close. We have a pretty clear winner. I don't think no other activations in this round are going to make a difference, and we kind of get a sense of how things are going. So the game wraps up. I actually get a win, so it's been 2 draws and a win, but this was a real nice high-scoring one, which is great. We managed to make it through 4 rounds, which the first round I think we got through 4, the second round not very many at all, and then this one we got through 4, so that's really good. That was another fun game. It went super well for me. Again, things just kind of fell into place. People were just in just the right position. They had just enough movement, enough counters. So it's nice to have a game where that kind of happens. You kind of wait for that. You kind of go through the games where the opposite takes place, and then something like this happens. And it's pretty satisfying. So thanks to my opponent for the game. Thanks to Tony for putting on the tournament in itself. This was another of the Gotham City Circuit series of events. I did actually play the championship game, which was the end of the Gotham City Circuit. So that tournament happened this last weekend. Hopefully I can get those battle reports up to you reasonably soon. As far as the results go, so you may have seen a battle report, me playing against a guy with a Gorilla Grodd crew. He actually won the tournament. He didn't go undefeated. I don't know if he had a draw or a loss in there somewhere. No one went undefeated, but he did manage to get the win, so congratulations to him. He's a real good player. There's a lot of mind control. So the crews, there were 3 Brave and the Bold crews and 3 mind control crews. So there's Gorilla Grodd, Hatter, and Poison Ivy. So that kind of looks like a bit of the meta in the Sacramento scene right now. I may have mentioned this on another video. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I did actually manage to get second place, even with a pretty ho-hum record of 2 draws and a win. The last round was so high scoring that I did get second place, which was really nice. So I got a gift certificate and I think a couple models, and so I was really happy with that. It was a lot of fun. We've got a bunch of battle reports to get through in the coming weeks. I'll try to get those to you guys as quickly as possible. Again, if the sound is strange to you, let me know. I can adjust some settings on this thing. I'm kind of learning how it all works. Thanks for watching. There will be more stuff coming up in the future, and I will see you on the next one.